I spent years showing thousands of people how to invest, and I watched most of them make the same mistakes that had nothing to do with what they're actually invested in. This firm exists because of exactly what I saw. So who am I? My name's Aaron Richards, and I ran an investment education company for years, over 1,000 clients. So I had a front row seat to see how people actually handled their money in real life. But the problem that I saw, and what most people don't expect, is that these people were not uninformed, they weren't unintelligent, they actually were extremely smart people. A lot of them knew way more than the average investor knew. But why did they still fail anyway? It's mainly because if you have everything right in your plan and your strategy, but you could be the smartest person in the room or the most educated person in the room and still not succeed. And that's the biggest problem with investing. It's not exactly what you know, but sometimes it's who you know and what strategies do they know. At this point, you don't have a returns problem. You have a structure problem. And that's the thing that nobody wants to actually sell you. It's because there's no commission attached to it. And that's the biggest difference between someone who wants to help you with higher returns and someone who wants to help you with your full financial picture overall. The CEO and the founder of Kingsley Wealth Partners, a registered investment advisory firm, where we help you to build a financial plan and be able to manage that plan if necessary. I build and personally deliver every financial plan to my clients. The thing is, and the reason why I say that specifically, that I will build and deliver the plan for you, is because that's not very common in this space. A lot of times you'll call in and you'll have an intake person, and then you'll have a person that actually builds your plan, and that's somebody who delivers the plan, and then eventually somebody who takes care of you as a client, a relationship manager. And then perhaps every time someone picks up the phone, you may speak to someone new. Maybe you're a number in that system. But for us personally, what we do is make sure to customize everything and make sure that the relationship is built from day one. So what I want you to do is, if you're in the market or if you're looking for an investment advisor, or maybe the one that you currently have is not exactly who you connect the most with, why don't you ask the next advisor if you are going to be the one who builds my plan, and then see what their reaction actually is. And I want to let you in on a little secret. Financial advisor, the term itself, is not exactly a protected term. It's something that where people can use that title whenever they want. 5 years ago, when I was, just educating individuals and showing them more different pathways to, alternative investments, I could have called myself a financial advisor. You could technically call yourself a financial advisor. There's no restriction or limitation on using that title. The problem is that title doesn't actually tell you anything. Anyone, like I mentioned, can use that title. The thing that actually matters is how they're registered and how they're actually compensated. Here's a pro tip for you. Go to advisorinfo.sec.gov. Look up anyone that you're potentially going to be working with and see if they're actually registered. And if they are registered, see how they're registered, because that distinction actually matters. Every advisor's record is public information. So you're going to be able to see any fees, any conflicts, any discipline for that advisor or that firm. So go ahead and take a moment to look up Kingsley Wealth Partners. I'll wait for you here. The main thing is just never trust an actual title. Trust the filing instead. So how are they filing? How are they registered? What does their actual information say with their Form ADV and those type of things? There's a distinction that I want to be clear about. It's a fee only, no commission, no BS, no products. I want to make a distinction. What you want to pay attention to is if someone is fee only, because sometimes they can actually be commissions, and they could have someone upstream from them wanting them to route your money specifically to their products or their services. And so all of a sudden there's a compensation or an incentive for your financial advisor to route your money into something that's not the best thing possible for you. And a distinction that I want to be able to call out is some things are looked at as suitable for you, but suitable and in your best interest are not the same thing. So, something can be like, yeah, that could work for that person, versus, no, this is the best possible thing for that person. There's a completely different ball game there. And so what we do, we focus on being a fiduciary, which means we work in your best interest, not what could work for you, but what works best for you. That's extremely important. So when the only person who pays KWP is you, then that means the only person that we work for is you. That's not just a line that we like to say. That's our actual business model, and it's meant to be public and for you to be able to look that information up. So the difference between a fiduciary and someone who just works in the industry is plainly outlined on that website that we just talked about. And if you've ever felt like you've done everything right in your financial life and climbed the corporate ladder and, got your education and got the promotions and kept your work-life balance, but still feel like something is a little off, the feeling is most likely just having a missing plan, not having someone in your corner that you've sat down with and walked through exactly what your goals are, what you want to see in the next few years, and how you want to get there. That's where we come in, to be able to help you to build that plan, to make sure that you and your family are confident as you move forward. So if you haven't already, book a call, speak to my team. Process is very simple and straightforward, and we'd love to see if we can help you towards your goals. See you on the next one.